Hi everybody, 50 years, wow. It's been great putting this thing together, getting your videos, listening to stories, but most of all, listening to the emotion and the true feelings of everybody, sharing how we're still friends and we're still close, whether we see each other on a regular basis or not. Tonight is much more than just a chance to remember good stories. It's a chance to contemplate and think how our experiences in Magen David really shaped us as people and stayed with us, both the education and the fun times. It's been really a fabulous trip. I think every day how much Magen David meant to me, and growing up, how much the relationships mean to me till today. We went through a lot, and yet we're still able to look at each other, bump into each other in the street, give a hug, give a chuckle, and keep moving on. There are days I don't remember what I had for lunch the day before, but I remember when Chucky got those great tuna fish sandwiches, individual tuna, on rye, wrapped in foil, when we were picking things out of the tuna salad. Guys, there are just so many great memories. Let's hope we can share them again in another 25 years. And let's keep in touch.
Hi everyone. Anyway, there's so many stories. We all know the stories. Victor being tied to the shades, and the shades going up and down, the rabbi smacking him around, and the snot on the wall in the lunchroom, and so on. But there's one gem that people forget that always stuck in my mind. Actually, there's two. One was when, there was a bunch of us that were lame in sports, me, Morris Bennett, and a few other guys, and I think it was David Cohen, or one of the power hitters, hit what looked like a home run and punch ball, and all of a sudden the ball disappeared, and we realized Morris Bennett caught it by mistake in his sleeve, and that was hilarious. The second thing that I recall that's very vivid, because it was so, I was so lucky. I mean, it was, with this shot that I took, I bent down and I took a rubber band and paper clip, and somebody's flesh was showing across the room, and between the sock and the top of his pants, and I shot at it and I hit him, and it happened to be, I think, may rest in peace, I think it was Morris the Weck, and he was very slow to explain himself. He was one of those guys, and he screamed, and the rabbi came and took it out on him, and to this day I'll never forget that shot. That's it, guys.
Hello everyone, it's great to be here tonight. A 50-year milestone is something we certainly should not take for granted. Don't ask me where the 50 years went, but still have all the fond memories of Magen David. We grew up like family, and we always kept that bond, and in fact that we're all here tonight is truly a berachah. I have a lot of funny stories, but that I was probably one of the biggest troublemakers in the class. One of them that stands out was, I don't know if you recall, they used to mix the tuna fish with their hands without gloves. And I remember Jaime Antony eating his tuna sandwich, and a Band-Aid came out of his mouth. Second thing is, the last time I attended school, we had a softball game, and I was so excited that I got a hit that rather than drop the bat, I let it go, and it hit Barry Cohen square in the face a week before his bar mitzvah, and I was afraid to come back to school. Barry, I haven't seen you in 50 years. I'm sorry. Anyway, life is good, thank God. Enjoying my family, my children, my grandchildren, and I'm grateful for whatever I have, and it's great to be here.
Hi everyone. I can't believe it's 50 years have gone by. I would like to say how privileged we were to have received a yeshiva education 50 years ago. Many of our peers and friends and relatives didn't have that privilege. And it makes a difference. And we see today that everyone today has a yeshiva education. I will let others tell the great stories that we had together. I want to say how proud I am to have been in the class of 1967. The bond that we have can never be broken, even after 50 years. When we see each other, we get back to our youth, and we have some good old times to tell. Well, I can't believe it's been 50 years. But we are standing on the shoulders of those men and women who created Magen Yeshiva 70 years ago. We owe them a debt of gratitude. We should also mention of those classmates who are no longer with us: David Esses and Moshe Dweck. Well, let's lighten things up a little bit. I can get a little sentimental when I reflect about our past. So does anybody remember the banned copy of the first edition of our class newspaper? Does anybody have a copy of that? I'm sure it's worth a lot of money. I made headlines that day, and I'll let you guys announce what the headline was. Yes, A.B. Flea School. My luck, Rabbi Bitum was on the bus that day as I was going home. And it was hard to explain, what am I doing on the bus? But those were the days. Anyway, I just want to say Mabruk to all of us, and hopefully we'll reunite 25 years from now. Erwin says we're not going to be there, but I think we're going to be there. I think a bunch of us will be there. I hope to be there. Let's meet again 25 years again, probably in the old age home that someone's going to build in Aventura, Florida.
Congratulations to all my fellow alumni on this, the anniversary of our 50 years since we graduated from Magen David. I'm going to digress from the norm of historical stories about teachers and classmates, because when Magen David comes to my mind, I can't help but think of the dedication that both my parents had to the yeshiva. First and foremost, my dad, as a member of the board of directors, scholarship and tuition committee, lunchroom committee, bingo, tireless hours for years and years, actually decades, with my mom by his side. And upon his passing, my mom spent over 20 years working in the Early Learning Center. Magen David to me is synonymous with my parents. On that thought, I couldn't be prouder of all of you here in the room tonight and everything that Magen David Yeshiva stands for. I want to wish you all about 120 years in good health, happiness, semachot always, that we should share together. Amen.
Hi guys, it's Joey from Israel. I Actually, I'm videoing you from my parlor in Israel, in Renana. How do you compress 50 years into 2 minutes? I don't know, but I'm going to do my best. Anyway, guys, I miss you all. It's an amazing 50 years that went by. I have a wife, best wife, and 6 kids. We're all living in Israel for the last 23 years. And this is an amazing opportunity to be in touch with you guys. I want to invite each of you to my home in Renana, Israel, when you come. And wow, this is really something. What am I proud of in the 50 years that I spent? Aside from my best wife and 6 wonderful kids and 4 grandchildren so far, I had time to write a book with all God's children on the universal aspects of the Hebrew Bible. Mrs. Uris taught us how to write very well, and I even used some big words. I'm working on another book that, God willing, I'll be finishing, and I have to tell you, it's a magnificent adventure to live in Israel. And I miss you all, guys. Anyway, I wish.
Hello everyone, I can't believe it's 50 years. I've been looking forward to this night since the last reunion 25 years ago at Lou G. Siegel's. 50 years is a much more incredible marker for all of us, and we have to mabruk ourselves on this, that we're still this close and we have this kind of gathering here tonight. The stories still remain as clear as ever, some of them as early as 3rd grade. One of them was a time when my good friend Meyer was the monitor of the class, and he put me on the bad ledger of somebody misbehaving while Giveret Nisim walked out of the door. And when she came back, she saw my name with 5 marks on it, and she started screaming, Hamesh Pe'amim? And she took my hand, and I got 5 over the knuckles. It still hurts, Maya. But on a more inspiring note, Meyer also, I remember when everybody was going to Bradley Beach one summer, he said he was going to Israel. This is before the 6-Day War, when Israel was just a tiny, tiny country, and it was a very inspiring message that he sent to me, even back in 1962, 1963, a long, long time ago. And I never forgot that, and it was something that I always wanted to do, and all of us have done it many times. We've gone to Israel, and we're proud to be supporters of the state of Israel. Another thing I remember just quite comically is, I think I had a bet with Erwin Abraham that I had 91 silver certificates. He bet me $1. I don't think I ever got that $1, Erwin. So tonight, if you have some loose change, let me know. But again, mabruk to everybody here. This is something we should all be proud of, and our kids will be inspired from this as well. Good night.
Hey guys, Magen David, elementary school, graduating class 1967. What a classic bunch of guys, unique characters, such wonderful times we had, fun times, fond memories. Be great to get together. Well, we had a unique set of teachers during those 10 years or so, and I'm not sure who was hiring at the time, but boy, they were pretty special. The one that stands out in my mind is our 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Allschitz, if you recall, Mrs. Allschitz, and one day gave us a very unique assignment to watch this TV show. Okay, it was so bad I remember the name of the show, called Mr. Novak. Well, sure enough, the next day, nobody really watched it. She asked for reaction, comments on the show. Nobody raised their hand. Nobody. And figured I'd bail the class out. Raised my hand, and she calls on me and says, Eli, what did you think about the show? I said, "Really, Mrs. Olshitz? I thought the show was real chara." Well, that got a good laugh out of everybody, and somehow she went missing the next 30 days. Not sure what happened, but the rumors have it that she checked herself into Bellevue. Unconfirmed, of course. But when she did come back, and we were a bunch of really nasty guys, but we did have a heart, very compassionate, and we decided we're going to chip in and buy her flowers. It's the right thing to do. I remember chipping a quarter myself, and for me that meant 5 packs of baseball cards that I could have had. So I thought it was pretty generous. And when she came back, she barely made it through the first part of the class and cut for recess. Everybody went out. Not sure what happened. All hell broke loose as usual. Got into some altercation with my very good friend, Michael Batesh. And I was standing right there, and she approaches him, opens her purse, and says, "Michael, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't want your flowers." Pulls out a quarter and gives it to him. "Take your quarter back." Of course, Michael, the sensitive guy that he is, what was his reaction to that? He said, "I gave $1." There you have it. One of many, many stories we'll share together, laugh together. Looking forward to seeing everybody March 20th.
It's hard to believe, and I'm sure that everyone will say that it's been 50 years. It sounds crazy, insane just to say it. I'm not sure if the other MDY classes feel the same way as our does, but for some reason we formed a special bond. Even if we don't see or speak to each other for many years, when we do, most of us have this special connection and this friendship that's really remarkable. Maybe it's that we were just such a small group, going through all those crazy things and all those experiences that we had together, that our friendships have lasted so long. So from those kindergarten cots to Geveret Nisim's wood ruler across the knuckles, to Little Beaton, Big Beaton, from Mrs. Allschutz and Mrs. Khan to Mrs. Jordan, and especially Chacham Baruch, from those punchball games in Sethlo Park and flipping baseball cards. The memories are still with us. We're really very lucky and very fortunate. So with apologies to Mr. D, may your hearts always be joyful, may your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young. See you guys.
Hi everybody, what a pleasure it is to be here. They're telling me it's our 50-year anniversary. I can't figure out why, because I'm only 39 years old. But aside from that, I have to say that the friendships and the bonds that we've created in our class over the years is beyond belief. I'm sitting here in Meyer's office. I'm sitting here with Zuri. I see all the boys all the time, and it's as if we were back in school to Magen David, and I cherish every single one of those friendships. It's just unbelievable. The education we got back in the day is just crazy how much it paid off over the years. It's really a great thing to be, and I'm very proud to be a graduate of Magen David Yeshiva. Aside from all that, someone just reminded me about Clove Lake Park. So I took a dive into the water, into the lake, to get the ball. I think it was for Stanley Rishti. Thank you, Stanley. The ball dropped into the lake. I was on the rowboat, and I thought that it was at least 6 feet deep. I didn't know we were in shallow water. It was only like 6 inches. So I took a dive headfirst into the water. So I cracked my head open. Nothing serious. I haven't recouped since. My wife's been telling me I'm crazy my entire life. So that's just one of the wacky memories I do have. And I love all you guys, and I'm very happy to be here.
stand to be graduate of Magen David, 1967, 50 years. I can't believe it's been that long. Like I tell my children, you don't have to see someone that often to have a special relationship with them. And that's how I feel about all my classmates from Magen David. When I see them, it's like yesterday. There's so many stories that I remember about Magen David. I remember Michael Batesh. Michael sitting in the, not Michael, with his doodling, drawing the superheroes. I remember once when he said something under his breath and the rabbis got upset at him, and it was just so funny. I remember Mars Benin calling Eli like this, Eli, like nobody knew what he was talking about. I remember Chucky Abadi getting his special cream cheese and pickle sandwiches at lunchtime. There's so many other things. I remember me when I made the famous comment, the girls are beating us, and you guys really let me have it. I mean, I could just go on and on with the stories, the walks. I remember cutting out of class to go, during session of class, running out to the park across the street to get sweet tarts and M&Ms and coming back and sitting down. Nobody would know the difference. It's crazy. We got a great education, great Hebrew education. We had Chabad. We learned Geveret Nisim, Rabbi Biton, Rabbi Shiloni. And to this day, even though I didn't make Flatbush High School, I could still read parts of the Sefer Torah with Ta'anim. I can chazin, I study Gemara. It's amazing the Jewish education we got. Anyway, guys, it's great to remember. I'll always feel so close to you, all of you. And let's do this again in another 25 years.
Hi guys, welcome back. 25 years later, thank God we're all here, and it's been a great ride. And I have to say, I almost didn't make it with this austere crowd of guys. I had a story that I wasn't exactly the pride of the school when I was younger, and around 6th grade, I was either thrown out or I pleaded to my mother to leave the school. And in those days, I had just 3 blocks away from me, David Booty Junior High School, where 3 of my brothers went to school before me. And it was that year I went in the beginning of the class of the year. I went there, and I was there about 2 weeks, and I was enjoying myself. And it was great. The teachers knew my family, my older brothers. They were like, they were popular. And I was telling my mother one day, I came home like a Thursday from school. She says, how's everything going? Michael, you enjoying it over there? I said, I love it, Mom. I just wanted, can we bring over tomorrow night? I want to bring over my friends, Dominic and Vinny. They could come over and hang out. It would be great, Mom. That was it. After that was the last day I was in the school. The next day, I had Eddie the driver picking me up from the, to go to the school. And then later, I found out the backstory why I ended up back in Magen David was that Shalom used to come to visit my father a couple of times a month, or once a month, 2 times a month, to pick up flus to pay the teachers for the shortfall. So my father used to always help him out whenever he could. Then he ended out, that when it happened, he walked in. Right after that, after my mother called my father to tell him the good news about my new friends. And he definitely convinced him to put me back in the school. And I have to say it was the best thing that ever happened. And I was involved in a lot of the stories, and there was tons of stories. It was an incredible time. We went through something fantastic, and it's just, I'm very proud to be with you, part of your group, and there's nothing else to say, but I'll see you at the next 25.
We really had some great experiences together growing up, and witnessed amazing events, historical events in history. The 1960 election of Kennedy over Nixon, the first Americans into space, John Glenn orbiting the Earth, early early parts of the Vietnam War, the JFK assassination. But I especially remember 1967, which was our last year, and when we went to Montreal for Expo 67, and me and this class of from the yeshivas, Jewish kids, stayed at YMCA with a knife thrower in one room, and another guy with the Holocaust, but we stayed together, and we got through it, and we came back to the concern, and then ultimately trying to put the 67 war, which Israel took back Jerusalem. We really had a great time together, and I always remember this. All of you and all of these guys.
Hi everybody. Happy to be here amongst friends and classmates who some of you haven't seen in a long time. I know we bump into each other at weddings and affairs, but this is the first time we're really getting a chance to reminisce about our childhood. This idea of a 50th reunion is fabulous. Congratulations to Meyer and whoever your advisors are who tried to pull this off and who did pull this off. I'm glad that Baruch Hashem, most of us are still around and fortunate enough to be well, and I know that we'll miss all of the ones who aren't with us. Baruch Hashem, I'm blessed with a wonderful wife and wonderful children and grandchildren. My wife and I met in Israel, and we got married a few months later. And that's a classic story in itself. If anybody wants to know what happened or how it went down, you can see me later. Now, let's get down and stroll down to memory lane, or as we called it, fondest memories. Who remembers Mrs. Levin's funny as a crippled centipede comment? Or Mrs. Jordan's Ginny and Patty? Classics, right? I don't think anybody had that besides us. Or my uncle, Alav Shalom Rabbi Biton's ruler, famous half-inch thick ruler, who even I wasn't spared from. Or my father, Alav Shalom's, used to give the answers to the tests the day before, and it still didn't help. A lot of guys failed, but unfortunately, that was then. There's a lot more, but I'll leave that to some others who have more to tell. Now, it's time to say that it's been a pleasure here, and we'll see each other, Be'ezat Hashem, at our next 50th reunion.
Hello, it's great to be here with the friends from 50 years ago who've remained bonding with all the, the things like we did in Magen David. We're still part of that. And I feel it's a great honor to be part of the class, part of Magen David, and it's great to see how everybody has grown and have great families, and I also want to remember those that passed, and I just think it's a great thing, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to have been part of this great class, and only great things in the future for everybody.
Hi guys, I just wanted to say I'm looking forward to meeting up on Monday night, the 20th. It's going to be a lot of fun. We all have great memories. It's 50 years, and we all had a lot of fun together. I hope everybody had a lot of beracha, rebacha, and haslaha in their lives, and reached their objectives and all the goals that they wanted to hit. Everybody has some memories. Everyone has specific memories. I have a whole group of them. I'm sure everybody has a whole group of them. I'd like to talk about just those types of memories in general. my first memory is that we seemed to have turned the corner when we hit 5th grade, and we became this crazy class once we hit 5th grade. Up until 4th grade, we were the best behaved group of kids in Magen David, except if you ignore that we wrecked the botanical gardens. I think that was in 4th grade. We wrecked the botanical gardens and the planetarium. But after that, I think we really turned the corner and became really bums in 5th grade. Some of the funniest memories I have are all the goofing around we did when we had the substitutes, Mr. Allen, Mr. Morris, and a whole group of other substitutes that we used to goof on. And also a lot of other memories that we had that were a lot of fun. Generally speaking, Rabbi Biton walking into the classroom at any time, and we were in total abject fear when he walked in. To us, he was this big, lumbering guy and kind of scary. I know all of you guys all have other memories too, and I'm looking forward to sharing them with you guys on Monday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see you then. Thanks.
Wow. Hi, boys. We are all here 50 years later. It's absolutely incredible. So when I think about Magen David Yeshiva and I think about our class, I have some incredible memories. But one of the things I want to say first is we were the class. We were the class that's responsible for the great Magen David Yeshiva of today, where our children and grandchildren are educated and have grown up to be unbelievable members of the community. And the reason for that is after our class, they said, Hajia, no more. We're not doing this anymore. We're going to take control of this institution, and we're going to make sure these people get an education. Now, I have to tell one story. I'm going to tell one incredible story for me that has helped me get through some crazy times in my life, and that puts a smile on my face every time I think about it. It was the 7th grade. It was a Monday. I came into class. We were about to go to recess. Victor Harari sat next to me in that classroom, and I remember it like it was yesterday. As we were going for recess, I said, "Hey, Victor, did you see that movie last night on TV?" He said, "Which movie, Marvin?" I said, Tony Curtis was in that movie, The Great Houdini." He said, "The Great Houdini? I'm the Great Houdini." I said, "What do you mean you're the Great Houdini?" He says, "Marvin, you didn't know? I'm taking magician lessons. I'm the greatest magician on earth. I can get out of any knot and any tie ever created." I said, "What are you talking about?" Now everybody had left the class. There was 2 or 3 people milling around with us. I said, "What are you talking about? Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to me. I tie the most unbelievable knots in the world." He says, "I dare you to try to tie me up and see if I can get out." I said, "Okay." Now I said, "I'm going to take the dare and I'm going to tie you up." As I'm tying him up, I'm halfway through. I warned him. I said, "Victor," I said, "are you sure you want me to continue? There's no possible way you can get out of this." So he said, "What do you mean?" I was tying him up with something from the school, from the books. I took the cord from the shade in the classroom. I pulled it all the way up, so I had the massive amount of cord, and I started wrapping it around his wrists, and then tying it again and again and again and again. And then I warned him again. I said, "You sure you want me to continue?" He says, "I am the Great Houdini. There's nobody better than me. I'm Victor Harari." I said, "Okay, no problem. I'll continue." I continued, and then the rest was history. Rabbi. So here's the history. If you remember, everybody came back from recess. Victor was tied up. He couldn't get out. He was tied to the shade. Rabbi Biton walked into the room. We were about to get started praying Mincha. Rabbi Biton walks in, and he looks and he sees Victor standing up in the classroom. So he looks at Victor and he says, "What are you doing? What's going on?" He says, "Rabbi, I'm only praying." So he looks, there's no book in his hand. He looks closer, he sees he's tied up, and he lied to him. He went wild. He ran after Victor. He chased him down. Victor ran away with the shade. The shade was trailing behind him, and he started to run through the hallways. He got caught with the shade between 2 doors, and Rabbi Biton caught up to him. That story will stick with me forever. That was one of the most incredible adventures we've all been through. Everybody enjoy the evening. That's my story. Thank you.
To those who are classmates with me in Magen David, few I see here during the year and few I never saw. So I'm glad that reached the day that we should be together and bring back memories from the 1960s. And hope to see everybody, and everybody's welcome to my place, which is on King's Highway, and come and join us.
I want to say mabruk to everybody. It's been 50 years. We all went through a lot over the 50 years, but we all accomplished many great things, and we should take whatever we did and pass it on to our grandkids. Hopefully we will re-meet the 75th anniversary in 25 more years.
Greetings from my office at Mortgage Enterprise here in the faraway land of Nassau County. I've been away from the community for a long time. With 4 sons, and a lifetime of ups and downs later, I'm ready to face my many demons. The face of my many demons. The graduating class of Magen David, 1967. I don't have any real fond memories of Magen David, but I do miss my classmates. In retrospect, my fondest memories are those of some of our teachers. Yvette Nissim tops the list, followed by Acham Baruch, probably one of the smartest and most learned of all my Rabbanim, and definitely the most humble. I also have great memories of Mrs. Khan, Mrs. Jordan, and Mrs. Yurst. I can't wait to see all of you guys. See you on the 20th.
Hi to everybody. I know we see each other from time to time, quite often. It's great to be in one place all together for this special event. I hope we don't need name tags to identify or recognize each other. After all, most of us are grandpas now, and a lot of time has passed, but at least we're still very young at heart. I think it's sad that we're missing some of our former classmates who passed away due to illness. Really not a complete unit without them, but they're here in spirit. We also want to acknowledge that we're missing our friend Joey Haddon. We miss him very much. He's in Israel, and he's awaiting the upcoming marriage of his daughter. But he's a big part of our class. I think it's also a good time to acknowledge and thank some of the teachers, Hebrew and English, who worked so hard and were so devoted to us. Mrs. Levin, Mrs. Yurst, Rabbi Friedler, Yvette Nissim. We remember them very fondly and have only great memories. I guess it's a good time also to thank the organizers of the event and the alumni committee, but especially Meyer and Eddie and a few of the other guys who encouraged us to participate. So looking forward to a great night.